Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talks. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Dollar, dollar. In case you're not familiar with Shane McMahon's entrance theme, that is what everyone over at KITH, Hasbro, and Jada have got to be singing to themselves right now as they watched all 4 of their exclusive action figures sell out in a heartbeat. Absolute craziness, but not craziness. Maybe not surprising. I mean, a little eyebrow raising, potentially. But I think a lot of us thought, these are going to go fast. Maybe we didn't realize exactly how fast, to the point that there were people queuing up in the streets outside the KITH store in New York City. I do believe it was New York City. Shout out to friend of the show Lance for hooking me up with these pictures and giving me the inside scoop as to the pandemonium that was happening in the streets. Is pandemonium a bit of an exaggeration? Yeah, but I'm a YouTuber, so what are you gonna do, all right? You gotta get the people going, don't you? You know I'm gonna be having a thumbnail with me going like, oh, and just crazy. But hey, sometimes it's fun to talk about crazy things. So this collaboration is something that is pretty amazing, with the combinations of different companies all working together to an extent. Because when I first heard about this, it was someone telling me, hey, Hasbro and Jada are collaborating in Capcom vs. Street Fighter figures. And I was like, are they? That sounds a bit far-fetched. And then I saw like, oh, wait, they actually are. But then not really. They're both under the same KITH brand, but it's clear that there are 2 different sort of deals going on here. First of all, Ryu and Mega Man, they're cool. Again, they're repainted reuses of the original figures, but they bear the KITH logo ID on them, like they're football players being sponsored by KITH while going out to fight evil. Whereas the Marvel Legends, they're clean. They haven't got any KITH insignia or logos or branding on them. They are just the characters, which arguably probably makes them more desirable for classic collectors such as myself. And I can't help but feel that was probably something to do with the branding deal that they made with KITH, whereas Jada maybe didn't have so much clout to be able to bargain and posture. So KITH were like, yeah, we're going to use your figures, that's great, and we're going to put our logos on them. And Jada were like, well, we're just happy to be a part of this. Whereas Hasbro might have been like, okay, we'll collaborate with our figures, but you're not putting your branding. We're keeping ours like neat and clean, just the way we like them. I don't know, that's speculation. I could be way off. Lord knows history has proven me to usually find myself in the way off category, but I feel like that might be the case. But so people have gone kind of crazy for these. $45 each. So each one of these figures, normally if you were buying them separately on their own, they'd probably retail for like 25, maybe 27 at a push. To be fair, Wolverine and Captain America were parts of multi-packs. They were both sold in 2-packs, so there was going to be a higher retail price for them anyway. But certainly with the Captain America one, who came with Venom, that was going pretty cheap regardless. I think I picked mine up for $30 on eBay. 30 behavior bucks on eBay, so not a crazy price. But these repaints, they will be going for obscene prices. Someone told me that someone had already pre-listed them before they were even available. Cheeky little buggers. Before they were even available, someone pre-listed the set of 4 for $1,000 on eBay. And don't get me wrong, I doubt anyone actually paid that, but that's what people were like hoping to drum up the speculation for. What I'll say to you guys, if you want them, you know, don't rule with your heart, says the guy surrounded by things that he purchased because he ruled with his heart. You know, it's like, really, Dave, how do you feel on top of that ivory tower from which you're talking, which seems to be made out of cobwebs and pixie dust? Yeah, it's not a secure base to tell people like, hey, you know, don't go crazy with your spending. But at the same time, don't go crazy with your spending. Because also, you know that these are just alternate player 2 type colors for Captain America and Wolverine in particular. So, you know, Hasbro are probably going to do alternate colors regardless because there's money to be made. It would have been really annoying if they'd actually done alternate player 2 colors for characters that made different characters. Like there's a red Venom in Marvel vs. Capcom. If they'd done a Red Venom, that's kind of like Toxin. That's like a whole new character. That would have been way more tempting and also really annoying if the only way to get it was for $45 from KITH, and you know that wasn't ever going to happen because they sold out in microseconds. So the fact that it's just a slightly different shade of blue on Captain America, and come on, let's be fair, not the most attractive color combination of like brown and blue on Wolverine. They're nice to have, certainly, but it's not like a collection won't be complete without them. And then for Ryu and Jada Mega Man, they're kind of fun, but at the same time, it's just the original figures, but with some different branding on there. So they're definitely cool. There's a cool factor to be had with that. And I know, once again, glass houses on an imaginary pedestal, who am I to be telling you about cool? Although I am wearing my Decepticon baseball hat and Marvel comic book cover jacket, so actually now that I think about it, I am cooler than Fonzie on a fridge. But guys, what do you think about these figures? Do you think they're going to do any more? Because Lord knows they might very well do. Because these, if it was a proof of concept, well, guess what? That's been proven pretty quickly. As far as a collaboration with Hasbro and Jada is concerned, though, I wouldn't put too much weight on that because they're not really collaborating, if you think about it. I mean, they're happy to be paired together in this package and, you know, use the figures together in advertising, but it's not really that much different from any shop carrying both brands. You know, Hasbro doesn't contain any Jada likenesses or logos and vice versa. So they are still like two separate entities that are just being presented together. But hey, it's nice to see any kind of corporate movement. I wanted to say synergy, but that sounds really like blah, corporate speak, you know what I mean? But it's cool to see companies working together to create something kind of fun, even if 99% of us can't get our hands on them. But yeah, I thought this was worthy of a separate video because it's a pretty crazy, awesome, unusual, ridiculous thing to see. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Big time.